Good evening. Here I am. Well, not playing Dying Light, but I'm giving you a tip on Dying Light on how to duplicate weapons and items exponentially. It also work for money as well. But the reason why I'm making this video is because a friend of mine, while looking for a method to duplicate items and weapons and whatnot, found only videos that were overly complicated. I know a very simple way of doing this, and bonus, if you watch till the end of the video, you can watch a very funny thing where one of Rise's men gets so intimidated by the bow that I'm wielding that he literally commits suicide, like spins around in a circle and kills himself. But anyway, on to the actual method. The method is actually quite simple. The method that my friend apparently found was overly complicated, like having to back up your save file and like put in a URL, and it was like a 15 to 20 minute long video just to like have the duplication of weapons and items. So here's my method. One, you have to make sure that the game itself saves the inventory that you want to duplicate. Make sure you have all the items and the weapons that you want to duplicate in hand to make it a little bit more simple, so you don't have to keep on running back to the stash. So once you have those in there, you quit the game. By quitting the game, it makes it so that your inventory is saved on the hard drive in that save file. If you want to, you can back up your save file, but it's not completely necessary because it's pretty simple to do otherwise. So once you have, dropped or gotten all the items inside of your inventory and quit out of the game, so the save game is saved on your hard drive, you boot up the game again and you join a friend. It does require at least 2 people. You can have more if you want, but it really only requires 1 extra person. Once you're in their game, you proceed to drop all the weapons and items that you want to duplicate, and money, of course. This would work as well if you can drop your money. Unfortunately, you can only drop 10,000 at a time, but hey, more money is good money. Once you've done that, once you've dropped everything, you want to make sure that your friend picks up every single item that you have dropped, because the next step will make them all disappear. That next step, which is step number, well, I guess it would be technically step number 3, I'd probably say, you hold down the PS button and quit application. What this does is it stops the game from saving your new inventory that is lacking all of the items and weapons that you have just dropped. Once you have done that, you boot the game back up again, go back into the game, join your friend's game again, and drop all the items and weapons again. Lather, rinse, repeat until you have all the items and weapons that you want. But the cool thing is, and this is a bonus section here that I'm going to add in here, if you want to do this so it becomes exponential, once you have done this, let's say 4 or 5 times with your friend, which doesn't take all that long, trust me. Once you've done it with your friend, you can actually have them do the exact same thing that I just said, only in reverse. You have them hit the start button, quit out. It's going to save their inventory with all the duplicated items. What does that mean? Well, if you've done it 5 times, that's 5 times the amount of stuff that you gave to them that they now have that they can then duplicate for you. Well, except for weapons, because you only hold a certain amount of weapons, and it becomes a little bit more complicated to go back to your stash, like I mentioned before. But either way, then you've got 5 times the items, and then every single time that they do it, now you have 10 times the amount of items when they duplicate it a second time, 15 times, 20 times, and you get the point. It's just going to exponentially duplicate your items that way. And again, really, just to explain how and why this is exactly working, it's making sure that the hard drive only saves what you want it to save, and then not saving what you don't want it to save. So when you drop all of your items, it doesn't save the non-dropped items, I guess, or you don't lose the items out of your inventory because you're not allowing the hard drive to remember that you have dropped your items. And you can trade back and forth as much as you want until you have 999,999 things. So yeah, now I'll go ahead and show you that little video that I mentioned earlier, and looks like I've kept this under 5 minutes so far, and hopefully it'll be a lot easier for you to be able to duplicate items. But here you go.
No, I got you.
Oh, oh my gosh, that, he was so intimidated by my bow that he couldn't take it anymore. So hopefully that helps you out, and hopefully you found that funny. And just remember, if it wasn't evening when you watch this, it's always evening where I am.